Let's bring on Roland Lynn, Executive General Manager of Dan Davis Nissan and Clay Cooley Nissan. Roland, welcome to the show.
Roland, welcome.
How we doing, guys?
Excellent. So let's give a little background for those of us, not me, those of us out there that don't know you. Give a little context. Who are you? Where are you? What are you doing?
So Roland Lynn, Executive General Manager of Clay Cooley Nissan. Last month, I believe we were number 5 in the United States of Nissan dealers.
Awesome.
And Don Davis Nissan, which is just about 10 miles down the road. And they were number 18 in the United States. So I run 2 of the top 20 Nissan stores in the United States right here in Dallas-Fort Worth for Mr. Clay and Chase Cooley.
Very strong. And we got to give you the trademark question. How's biz?
Man, business booming. Don't listen to the naysayers.
There we go.
It's out there for the taking if you've got the gumption and the hustle.
Yeah, for sure. Quantify that for us, though. When you say business is booming, I mean, business is booming differently in different parts of the country. So you're in Texas. What's that look like for you per rooftop, new and used?
So I believe Duncanville, we did 230 on the dock new and 176 used. So just a touch over 400 retail. Don Davis was about 335, scratching at 340. And that breakdown would have been closer to about a 190 to 150. So 190 new, 150 used. So
strong numbers.
Kissing 750. We hopefully this month kissing 800 across both rooftops.
Yeah, we're hearing a lot of buzz about Nissan, as you know, and you're in a great position. And we hear a lot of negativity. We do love Nissan. I know you love Nissan as a group. We love Nissan. We want to see all good things. I mean, how have you leveraged that Nissan One program? It seems to be working for you.
Yeah, so it's structured that it rewards people for doing their job, hitting 110%. So the way we leverage it is we just assume we're going to hit it. A failure is not an option. I was at the regional meeting yesterday, the Nissan's RMP, and I heard guys talking about their objective and this and that. The standard moaning that everybody does. Failure is not an option, so we just put it in our math stack. So we're a volume dealer. We're not going to pass a deal, and so $1,200 a car when you hit the 110%. Plus holdback, plus the factory money, co-op, floor plan credits, everything else. There's not a lot of deals that when you do all that math stack plus F&I don't make sense. So, I get deals from other dealers in my market all the time that are passing $1,000 or $1,500 loser. Well, that math, when you add all the different things that I just went over with you, is still very profitable. And a desk manager controlling your destiny, kicking out a $1,500 or $2,000 loser in the screen is not doing you any service as a dealer in my mind.
So without asking the question, we already know the answers. I mean, there's dealers out there that focused on gross, and there's dealers out there that focus on volume. In your setting right now, you're very clearly dialed in on volume. So we got to ask, what's the secret sauce? How are you so successful out there?
So first, I would say there is no secret sauce. And you can't just completely throw gross out the window because you're not going to be able to keep your guys. If your sales managers aren't making a living, then they're not going to stay with you. What I would say is we want to maximize every opportunity we can. We want to sell as many cars as we can. And that is the secret sauce. I'm sorry. Sorry, I didn't want to.
So I was just going to say there are a lot of Nissan dealers that are watching this program right now, or some anyway. Okay. And some of them are thinking, hey, you know what? Nissan's had a challenge. Stellantis has had a challenge. We even brought up Mitsubishi. You don't want to put those three all together, but some would. And they're saying, hey, we're struggling to turn a positive net. What are mindset aside, what are some specific tips and strategies that you've implemented that have helped you to create this? You are selling a tremendous amount of new inventory, for the Nissan brand, and you're bucking a trend that a lot of dealers are involved in right now. What would you say to somebody that says, "Hey, pulling $1 million net out of 2 just doesn't, you can't do that in today's marketplace"?
I would say that's a weak mindset.
Because
Well, it starts with, I was sharing this with Yuli yesterday when we were getting ready for the show.
yeah,
Attitude is everything. So if I did an interview with you, Sam, the
yep,
first thing I would tell you is that your attitude is your altitude.
yeah,
If you think it's good or bad, either way, you're right. So you might as well think it's going to be great. Because
yeah,
if you think it's going to be bad, you're defeated before you ever start. So that dealer that says, "Hey, it's Nissan, I can't make money," he lost before he showed up for work.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Attitude is your altitude. Second thing, um, hard work. I shared this also with Yuli. Leonardo da Vinci quote: "Success is the relentless execution of the basics." So the secret sauce, if there is one, is what no one wants to hear in this generation of Apple and iPads and instant gratification. And that's put your boots on and go to work. Have one-on-ones with salespeople. You as the general manager, you as the general sales manager. Have a one-on-one with a salesperson. Dig into the CRM. See what they're doing with your leads. If you're doing your job as a general manager, you're flooding them with the leads. But if you're doing your job as a manager of your team, you're making sure you're holding them accountable for the money you're spending on the leads.
Okay, I love that comment, by the way, Yulia. Just real quick, you mentioned the Apple generation. So Mitsubishi, they're literally trying to duplicate Apple by going into a mall to become more successful and to turn around. If we look at your business from a process standpoint, thinking about those customers coming in through the door, what does the first step in the process look like? What is your most successful lead generating tool? Is it digital leads through a certain source? Where are you getting customers coming in through the door? What's your best advertising and lead source generation today? And then are you doing a BDC or is it frontline sales?
No, frontline sales. We don't have a dedicated. We have a corporate BDC that follows up with, the crumbs that fall through the cracks, missed appointments, long think over leads over 7 days that are after they've passed the normal salesperson hot lead. But that's pretty much all they do. The hot lead that comes in is worked by a salesperson who knows the most about the car, who deals with people every day. And as far as the best lead, it's probably from my website. These third-party leads, especially so like the factory or cars.com, Car Gurus, all these leads, they're giving this lead and most of them to 4 or 5 other dealers, whether they tell you that or not.
Yeah, you want them on your own site.
Yeah, you just look at your closing percentages. Your own website is going to be, for us at least, and some dealers may be different, is the absolute best. Your own organic traffic on a car that is on your lot and they're on your website. So you need some strong CTAs to get the customer engaged on your car on your website, and that's probably.
So what's your strongest CTA right now? What
I'm
what are
not
you doing?
The smartest guy in the world, so I'm going to give you a lot of simple answers.
Yeah.
Thank God I didn't go into brain surgery. I didn't have to be really smart to be a good car dealer.
What's your strong CTA?
Yeah.
Unlock my price because of Nissan's, covenants. That's a really strong one. We love Capital One. Capital One's consistently one of our strongest CTAs, and their showroom, their digital experience is really good. I'm on the ATP board, Advisors to the President, with Capital One, and so they're doing a lot of exciting things in retail and what they're developing as well.
So it's interesting. There are so many different lenders out there that want to put a button on your website. So Cap One's the one you went with. Did you look at others and you decided Cap One because the ROI was higher, or do you have multiple different?
I really like a lot of the guys that work for some of these other companies, and we've tried to use them. So I'm not gonna tell you the names of the ones I don't like. Let's just say they're not on my website. We've tried a lot. Yeah. We've tried a lot of the digital retail, a whole lot of CTAs, we try a lot of things as a group level. Yuli and I yesterday were talking about the AI and the chat bots and we're consistently trying to get ahead of the curve and find the next one that's a true large language model AI. It's not out there yet, but if you're not actively testing, at least piloting, so Fox, the dealer group you were just talking about in Michigan, they have 40 rooftops. You don't have to roll it out at all 40. You can beta test it at 2 and see what result you get. And if you're not doing that, and you're not trying,
is there a tool you like?
We like Podium right now, but no vendor should ever be safe, right? This should be laissez-faire at its best. If a vendor invents a better mousetrap and gives me a true large language model AI that will engage not only how many cubic feet are in the back of that Mercedes-Benz or BMW you were just talking about, but also how it ties into how, Sam, we noticed you do camping, and I want you to know that, it will fit the biggest tent available at your local Academy Outdoors. And oh, by the way, the 4-wheel drive will get you through, this 8 inches of mud, and you won't ever get stuck, and blah, blah, blah. Once it's at that level, somebody's going to create it, and we want to make sure that we have it when it comes out.
So I got to call you out right there. Anybody that knows me knows I'm not camping. There's no camping in my future. So your AI got it wrong. We got to fix that. But here's what I think everybody else, and I'm seeing the comments getting lit up with questions. Your achievement of this million net between the two stores in a month and multiple months is significant. Everybody wants to know practically how are you getting there? So lead generation is one. Fixed ops is another. What's your fixed absorption right now between the two?
Fixed absorption for us, I told Yuli if there was one thing that I really want to work on, and I told Mr. Cooley this, we would dominate. In our 20 group, one of the best fixed ops guys told me this as well. We would just dominate the pages if we could get better. I want to say fixed is in the mid 40s, and total absorption, because we dominate, it is low. Total absorption is where we really make up a lot of ground, and we are probably 80% absorbed after total.
Okay. So a big part of your net is through front end sales. Finance. What's your process on finance?
Probably the old school, or a normal F&I turn when they close on the deal. They're then turned over into a finance office, and we have a business manager pitch ancillary products, build value. We do menu selling, and that's the same process when I was doing it 25 years ago. You have a finance manager take a turn.
And any average PVR?
The gold standard for Nissan within the Clay Cooley organization is 2,500. We don't always achieve that, but we are chasing it. I'd say 22 to 2,500, somewhere around that range is where we average.
Strong.
Yeah. Yossi, the car dealership guy, Roland, you garnered a social media comment from him. Love your honesty about fixed absorption. It's tough out there for many. And fixed is a run, right? So also a couple comments from others. Tyler Miller, finance director at Nissan here in Houston. Eddie Eisenberg says over under on Nissan making it through. You're definitely bullish and
over
Nissan. You'd be insane. Yeah.
Over. Hey, if that guy's out on the Nissan business, he needs to get the hell out and sell to somebody who believes.
Yeah. So with where you are and you're producing this great result, what keeps you up at night about the next 6 months? Like, what is your biggest obstacle that you're planning for to continue the streak in this positive net? What threatens that most?
I don't have that mindset. I just told you, if you're up at nights, you need to get the hell out.
I love it.
Yeah.
So nothing. The answer is
I'll tell you a challenge that we're not in love with, and you mentioned it on one of your headlines, is the tariffs. Sentra, Kicks, Versa, all these cars are the volume cars, and they're all out of Mexico. Nissan can't support us with any rebates or really any flexibility as long as they're paying 25%. And Nissan did a great job of not passing that down to consumers. A lot of the manufacturers have said, look, there's no way we can absorb all of this. And sorry about that. So there's no way that they can absorb all of that. And Nissan's done a great job of really not passing that down to the next consumer.
Yeah. But they will have to at some point, right? Like maybe in the next model year rollover. Yeah.
Correct. And that's something that I'd say concerns me. But to your point, hopefully cooler heads prevail and, they work something out and here we go.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fascinating. So walk us through. So we talked lead generation. We talked fixed ops. We talked advertising. You mentioned your process on the showroom floor with salespeople. Who's your CRM that you currently use? And is that a tool that's a benefit or a strength for you in your process overall?
We use Techion for CRM and DMS. And
really? Okay. How long have you been on Techion?
The DMS was October of 24.
Okay. Okay.
And the CRM was February of this year.
Okay. Now look, positive mindset, it's a given. And in fact, you're getting comments all over social. David Villa says, what's up, Roland? Lauren Klein says, love the positivity. Lauren Klein also says, let's go. When you made that transition, was it a challenge? Did it help increase your business? Did the team improve through the transition?
Anybody that tells you that changing a DMS is easy is lying.
I love it. All right, there goes the positivity. All right, here we go.
Yeah. A divorce or your house burning down is probably less stressful. Okay.
Yeah.
And anybody that tells you any different, they're lying. All right.
Yeah.
But look, there's a lot of positivities. There's a lot of things. My owner, Mr. Cooley, told me we didn't make the change for what the product is now. We made the change for what we believe Techion will be in the next 3 to 5 years. And they have a tremendous product. It's so much more user friendly for somebody like to train somebody on CDK or Reynolds. It takes weeks or months before they're really proficient. Techion is just user friendly. The user interface is common sense. There's a search bar at the top if you get lost. Fabulous, but we love the product, and the CRM is the same. And because they live in the same world, creating a deal from the CRM is as simple as clicking the button at the top that says create a deal on this customer. And then you're right in the DMS.
Yeah. Interesting. Final question, parts operation. Do you have a wholesale parts? Do you guys deliver parts regionally or
Absolutely.
do you serve your own? Okay.
Absolutely. I'm a wholesale parts dealer. Look, I know fixed is something we need to work on, and so we're working on growing it. I'm an NADA graduate. You mentioned the picture on my LinkedIn. I know that I'm supposed to be 70% fixed absorption. I know that I'm supposed to be 100% total absorbed after used. I'm aware of these metrics.
Yes.
And so we're striving to get there. And if we do, I'm already very profitable. I know I'm going to make a lot more money.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I love it. David Villa, as we wrap out, says, man is number 5 and number 18 out of 1,100 Nissan dealerships in the country. Absolutely slaying it. But if asked, he credits his team. So props to you. And then Nate, the truck driver, while he's driving, hopefully not, his confidence and honesty are admirable. Roland, Lynn, you are the envy of many Nissan dealers out there across the country. Thanks for sharing some of your secret sauce. And the gavel. Show everybody the gavel, Roland, as we wrap here. Executive General Manager of Don Davis Nissan and Clay Cooley Nissan, holding the gavel. We appreciate you being on the show and sharing.
Can I say one last thing, guys?
Today. Please go for it.
Kindness and honesty are core values of the Cooley organization, and I believe they're lost on a lot of guys in this industry. Treat people the way you'd like to be treated. Work just as hard or harder than the guy you're telling to do a job, and I believe they'll run through a brick wall for you.
And I can speak firsthand to that. I mean, that kind of permeates throughout the organization there. It's a remarkable thing. Hats off to you, Roland.
Hey guys, thank you for having me.
Roland, thanks for being on the show.